What is going on, guys? And today we're talking about Danilo Gallinari. He has suffered a meniscus tear in his left knee, which was surgically repaired back in 2013, 2014, when he originally tore it with the Denver Nuggets. And I believe he's suffered another ACL injury since then, but this meniscus tear was in the same knee, the ACL stable. So on the very light side, he could be back 6 to 8 weeks. But if he does go under the knife, his rehab time could be 3 to 6 months. And we've seen meniscus tears take longer than that. James Wiseman, an example of that. And so the thing with, the problem with that is a meniscus tear may require surgery. We're still trying to figure out details. So right now it's August 28th. November 28th would be my assumption. End of November, beginning of December, earliest we'll see Danilo Gallinari back on the court. And the latest, this could be something that holds him out till February or March. That's the downside about this injury. That this injury, he could just miss the first month or so of the season and be back. Or he could miss 2/3 of the season and come back for the playoffs right before, maybe have like a month and a half, 2 month ramp up period before the playoffs start. Worst comes to worst, he misses the season. And if he were to miss the season, the reason behind him missing the season would be due to the fact that when you tear your meniscus, essentially when you're older, your knee will swell up. And whatever recovery you do, your knee will de-swell. But once you're recovered and you're clear to start getting back into basketball activities, that's when your knee will re-swell. Because like I said, when the initial injury happens, knee swells up, fill of fluids and all that stuff. They fix it. Your knee will become uninflamed. But when you start to ramp up on basketball activities, the big issue when that begins to happen is how will the knee respond? This is something that different for everyone. We've seen it with Jamal Murray. He basically took almost like a year and a half, 2 years to come back. We've seen Jonathan Isaac. He actually suffered, I believe it was either a meniscus or a hamstring injury, recovering from an ACL injury. And we don't know how, everyone's knees will react differently. So the whole question for Danilo Gallinari is that how will his knee respond, in his mid-30s when he begins to wrap up basketball activities? How quick will he be cleared? Because a lot of times, if it's good, there won't be any inflammation. But other times, there will be inflammation and they might have to go and do a knee scope. They might have to go and drain it. You can play with a little bit of knee inflammation. Basically, I've always explained this, and this is what I've heard and been told, is basically when your knee's inflamed, there's like, let's use PSI. There's like a certain amount of PSI that is created, like of pressure by that fluid. You can't play with more than, I think, like 20. I don't know what the actual measurement is, PSI in your knee. So if you have more than 20 of whatever measurement it is of fluid in your knee, they won't play you because it's too risky, because your knee will literally just burst. Like, not actually, but you get what I'm saying. You're just gonna destroy your knee. That's why a lot of times when you hear guys with like swollen knees, they're like game time decisions, because they're literally saying like, is his knee gonna be able to go in there? Again, I really hope it's gonna be fine for them. Danilo Gallinari. Again, also, we need to understand who is going to take his spot in the rotation, because we know Brogdon, Derek White, Grant Williams are all there. Okay. But could this open up the way for Bruno Caboclo to get some playing time? Maybe him get a roster spot? Or will Sam Hauser or Peyton Pritchard seize the opportunity and shoot a lot? What are your thoughts down below? It's interesting, isn't it?